Hare Krishna. Welcome to today's reading from Brilliant as the Sun, Retelling of Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 4. Krishna fulfills all desires. By His grace, Krishna Dharma, Prabhu and Chintamani Dham Mataji. Let us begin chapter 15 today. King Prthu appears. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. From the mystical churning of Vena's body, the sages mystically produce Prthu and Archi, partial incarnations of Vishnu and Lakshmi. So these are the descendants of Dhruva Maharaj. Maitreya Rishi is speaking to Vidur about these pastimes now. Verse 1 from chapter 15. Maitreya said, after Vena's corpse was purified of sinful reactions, the sages churned his arms. Two splendid persons, a man and woman, then emerged. Verse 2, examining the bodily features of the couple, the sages could understand that they were empowered incarnations of Vishnu. One of them said, the male appears to me to be an empowered incarnation of Vishnu, the maintainer of the universe, while the female seems to be an empowered expansion of the goddess of fortune, who always remains with him. Verses 4 to 6. Another sage, after calculating the couple's astrological chart, said, the male should be called Prthu. He will become famous throughout the world as the best of kings. The female should be named Archi. She is Prithu's consort. Her charming bodily features will even beautify her ornaments. Vishnu has empowered Prthu with his own potency. In order to protect the people, the goddess of fortune, Vishnu's constant companion, has also partially incarnated her potencies in Archi. Verses 7 to 8. My dear Vidur, the assembled Brahmins loudly praised King Prthu, and the best singers among the Gandharvas sang his glories. The Siddhas who inhabit the higher planetary systems showered down flowers, and heavenly Apsara women dance ecstatically in the heaven. Sounds of conch shells, bugles, drums and kettle drums vibrated. Celestial sages, pious forefathers and other heavenly beings descended from the heavens to pay tribute to Prthu. Even Lord Brahma arrived there, accompanied by the principal gods and chief assistants. Brahma carefully checked the lines on Prithu's right palm. He noted they clearly depicted a club and a disc. He then asked Prthu to show him the soles of his feet. On each there was a clear impression of a lotus flower. On seeing these symbols etched onto Prithu's palms and soles, Brahma was convinced Prthu was Vishnu's partial incarnation. Verses 11 to 15. Taking permission from Brahma, the Brahmins arranged for the coronation ceremony. The gods stepped forward to make offerings along with the personified forms of the rivers, seas and mountains, as well as the heavenly and earthly planets. Prthu, tall and golden hued, was dressed in shimmering garments and ornaments. With his divinely beautiful wife by his sides, he seemed like a blazing fire. Blessed by the sages, he cheered by the citizens, he received the gods' offerings. Kuvera gave him a golden throne studded with celestial gems. Varun offered a pure white umbrella that constantly sprayed fine particles of cool water. The wind god Vayu presented him with two beautiful whisks. Dharma gave an ever-fresh flower garland that expanded its wearer's fame. Indra presented him with a priceless jeweled helmet, and Yamraj a scepter. Verses 16 to 21. Lord Brahma offered the king a garment made of spiritual knowledge. Saraswati bestowed upon him a transcendental necklace. Vishnu gave him an irresistible disc weapon. Lakshmi gave him imperishable opulence. Shiva presented him with a sheathed sword marked with 10 moons, while Durga offered a shield marked with 100 moons. The moon god Chandra presented an impregnable shield made of nectar, and Vishwakarma, the celestial architect, presented him with a beautiful chariot. Agni gave him a great bow a great bow. Surya presented him with effulgent arrows. The Siddhas gave him the celestial art of music and drama, as well as the ability to disappear at will. Finally, as poets glorified the king, the sages stepped forward to offer him blessings. Prthu smiled and graciously thanked them all. He spoke in a voice resounding like thunder. Verses 22 to 24, gentle bards, your praise is not appropriate, as the qualities you ascribe to me are not yet visible. Better you offer such eulogy to someone more suitable. You should offer these plaudits when I actually have the accomplishments you describe. The wise who praise the Lord do not attribute his qualities to an ordinary man like me. A foolish person who accepts inappropriate praise does not realize that such words only insult him. An intelligent person does not like to be unduly praised. A modest and generous man does not like to hear himself lauded, even for the virtues he does possess. For such a person, acclaim is as unwelcome as criticism is to a lesser man. I have not yet done anything worthy of praise. How then, like a fool, can I allow you to glorify me? Vidur said. Did they stop praising him? Maitreya shook his head. No, listen, I will describe everything. So this brings us to the end of chapter 15. King Prthu appears, and next time we'll begin reading from chapter 16, Prthu praised by the bards. So thank you all for joining in today's narration. It's so fortunate to be able to read and hear these chapters from Canto 4 together. I wish you all a very blissful and peaceful weekend ahead. Please chant and be happy and take care of yourselves. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.